Yeah, thank you again for joining us. We're really excited to have you and, talk about your experience becoming an actress here in New Mexico and all of the amazing projects that you've worked on. But first and foremost, can you tell us a little bit about your journey becoming an actress in New Mexico and what
Um,
really sparked
well,
your passion?
well, I came back to New Mexico. Um, was it in '09, I believe? But I went to college here at NMSU after I graduated from what is now called the National Conservatory for Dramatic Arts. It was called the Theater School when I went there in Washington, D.C. Then I went to the American Academy for a very short time. New York City wasn't for me. It was too big. I was used to DC, but New York was a step above. And so then we had lived in Santa Fe when I was a kid before we moved to DC. And I decided to come back here to Las Cruces to go to NMSU and join their theater department. And so I went there and then I left to seek my fortune. And I went off, I was in a very serious car accident right after I graduated from the conservatory. And um, I lost my eye. And so, then it was hard. I lost a lot of self confidence. I really thought film and TV was not going to be for me. And so I continued to do theater and small little theaters and community theaters and regional theaters. And then I got into radio and I was in radio for almost 10 years. And I actually came back to New Mexico. There was a lot of time in between, but I came back to New Mexico because I was living in Florida. I was actually teaching theater at Edison State College. And it was right when Facebook came out. And you're searching for all your old friends and everybody. And I found Mark Medoff. And he had been one of my old professors at NMSU. And I found him and I messaged him and I said, hey, could New Mexico use? I was now, reaching, going towards, it was in my 40s, could they use a middle aged actress? And he's like, come on out. So literally within the year, I had packed my U-Haul, sold my house, and came out to New Mexico to Las Cruces. And he had his son-in-law, Ross Marks, cast me in a short film, and I was like, I like this. You mean we're done? We're done. I don't ever have to do this again because I was used to theater. Oh, I got to go back night after night after night and do it again and again and again. And then right after that, I got cast in a movie called Jim. Rod McCall cast me, and that was a big lead. And I really got the bug. And then I moved up to Santa Fe and got cast in Godless and all the other things, and I've just been working ever since.
That's
And
amazing.
Tina Presley, God bless her. She took me on as her client, and she's just kept me working. I mean, she's kept me working year after year on project after project. She's fantastic.
That's amazing. Yes, and Tina's a hustler.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So, what are some of the unique challenges and rewards of pursuing acting here in New Mexico?
Well, some of the challenges are, um, by the time for someone like me who now is trying to go for who does go after the guest starring roles and the bigger roles, who's out of kind of the under fives, because that's all we really get here. Um, by the time they come out here, everything has been cast except for the smaller roles, and they think, oh, New Mexico doesn't have any actors. Well, we do. We have quite a few really good actors here. So I struggle with that. Tina has fought hard for me, and I've gotten some really good parts. Also, our casting directors have fought hard for us. to get us at least seen for some of these bigger roles. So that can be a challenge. Some of the rewards, though, can be we are big fish in a little pond. So if you are a good actor, you can stand out.
Yeah. And we were talking with, Angelique
Yeah,
Midthunder and Marie
she's
McMaster.
fantastic. She's one of
Yeah.
my favorite ones to audition for.
Yeah, and and we talked about how once you get in front of them, they're really advocating for you.
Absolutely, they are. Again, that goes for the small fish in a bigger pond. These casting directors get to know your talents and your strengths. So when that part comes across their desk, they go, "Oh, I know exactly who we can bring in for this," and they bring us in, and they also I don't know about other actors, but I've been fortunate that they'll say, this role is written for a man, but have you thought about bringing in a woman for it? In fact, I know somebody we can bring in for it, and I've gotten several roles that were written for men that I've gotten. Longmire, that delivery driver, was written for a man. Night Shift, that bus driver, was written for a man. Because these casting directors are open. They see a vision that's beyond. They see the talent, and they go, "Wait a minute, let's bring in somebody else, and let you look at them."
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
great. So what have been some of your favorite projects that you've been able to work on?
Well, this past one, Opus, has got to be my favorite. Yeah, has gotta be my favorite. My favorite was Big Sky. I loved working on Big Sky. Anytime that you can have a recurring role where you can really work on that character, and come in and also get to know the crew and they get to know you. It's like a regular job. You got that consistent paycheck. Um, it's almost goes back to being like theater again, but you make a lot more money at least, and you also um, have the ability, if not it's not written on the page, at least in your mind when you're working on, you create an arc for your character. Yeah. So that was, and the other one was Graves. I loved working on Graves. That was the one with Nick Nolte, and I got to play the bar singer in the biker bar, and so I got to use another one of my talents, which is singing. I was a rock and roll bar singer for a long time, and so I got to use that, and they go into a recording studio to sing the song that they played over the track and with the band, and that was exciting. I got to work with Juliette Lewis on that as well, who is in Opus, so that was fun to see her again, and us to be working on two different things in New Mexico.
That's really exciting. So how did you get involved in Opus and what really attracted you to the project?
It was an audition like any other audition that comes across, your agent sends you. I knew it was a big part, and it was with Angelique. And everything now is tape, which a lot of people whine about it. I like self tape. Like, yeah, I've got a little studio here, and I could go in there and do my tape and send it in. I've gotten it. When self tapes first started, it was a hurdle to get over, a learning curve of the new technology, and now I'm in there, and it's almost like I'm in the casting room. I give myself 3 takes, and that's it, and get them done and send them in. I can do them in about 10 or 15 minutes now. Um, anyway, the Opus came across, and it the it was just on the page. It was like, oh, this is for me. This is just written for me. And so I had a lot of confidence going into it. And shortly thereafter, I got the call back. And it was a funny story because I go down to Albuquerque. I live in Santa Fe, and it was a nighttime thing, and I don't like driving at night, but I go down and I drive down and it was on the other side of Albuquerque, by the uh, exit but near the airport. And I go down there, and Angelique's there, and another gal was there. I can't remember her name. I hate it that I can't remember her name. And Mags is there, and a couple other people. And I do the audition, and I talk to Mags, and I leave out of there, and I go, oh, felt good, but I'm up against somebody pretty big now. I know who I'm up against too. I'm not going to say her name, but somebody out of LA. And I'm like, okay. And I know she's doing a Zoom one right after me, okay, well, you put it out there, you get to do, and you got to give it up. So I leave, and I'm driving, and I keep hearing this, and I'm driving my mom's car, and I'm hearing this kind of odd, like, tinkling noise, this weird alert. And I'm like, oh, my mom's car is making noises. But oh well, I turn up the radio, and I keep hearing it. And then Tina calls, and I'm like, oh my God, Tina's calling already. And Tina goes, you took Angelique's assistant's cell phone when you left. I'm like, oh my God, that's what that noise was. They were calling the cell phone. So I'm at the Buttigers exit, right? So I'm like, way, I'm almost to Santa Fe. So I'm like, I'll turn around. I'll turn around right now. I turned around. I'm like, oh my God. I call I find the phone. I call it. I get back there. I go inside. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did this. And they go, well, it's okay. You got the part. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I just went running out of there. It's like, I didn't, because part of me is like, I'm not only like, I've turned around, I'm having to drive in the dark. It's late at night. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just full of everything. I didn't care anymore. I floated home, floated like back up La Bajada Hill on a pink cloud. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, then fortunate enough that you took the assistant cell phone because then you got
Well,
back.
I think I would have got the part either way, but I would.
You found out now because you were able to just head back.
One of those funny little things.
How
I would have
funny.
been mortified if I hadn't have gotten the part.
Yeah, I can see that.
Walk in.
What was it like working on that project and working with the cast and
Well,
crew? And
it,
what were some of your memorable moments?
well, there was a lot of memorable moments. I don't know if I could say the biggest one because it's part of the film, but let's just say I got a little up close and personal with John Malkovich. I'll tell you my favorite part of John behind the scenes. I'm sitting, it was my first day of shooting with John. And it's John Malkovich, right? I mean, I've been a huge fan forever. And I had met Juliette Lewis before, so we had chatted. But then and Murray is just a sweetheart, just lovely man, lovely man. When you meet him, he's just your best friend as soon as you meet him. But John Malkovich is sitting. We're up in past Espanola in this old or I don't know, this cool Santa Fe weird house. You know the type, but it's up there. And it's very, very, very cold, very cold. There's no heat in this house. And he's sitting in a chair by himself, and he's got a heater just to himself, right here. And I'm sitting over here with the other actors and just sitting there. And he looks over at me, he goes, you want to come share my heater? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So I take my chair and I go sit over by John Malkovich and I tell him this story. When I was a young acting student at what is now the conservatory, I had gone to see a play at the Kennedy Center that he directed called Coyote Ugly with Laurie Metcalf in the lead. And I told him all about me seeing this play. It was when he was with the Steppenwolf play or whatever out of Chicago. And seeing that had changed my whole look, as after I'd lost my eye and seeing something that raw and gritty, especially the woman who had played the mother in that, I was like, oh, there is a place for me in theater. It was between that and kind of Sam Shepard. I was like, I'll find my place. But after telling him that, he was very touched, and it brought back a memory from him from after, directing this play. And so we formed this theater bond, and it was just a really lovely moment. And so from then on, we were kind of theater buds, on set. And that was really nice.
How amazing, and almost how something like that is meant to be and comes full circle of you
It
having
did.
that
That's how we talked
experience.
about that. It's true. We talked about that. Yeah.
No, that's great. So what, again, working in the industry for so long and taking on such amazing roles, what advice would you give aspiring actors in New Mexico who are trying to break into the industry?
Take classes. And I know it's hard here. There's not a lot of I don't know. You've got to find good teachers. But the biggest one that you can find that's easy is improv classes. And there's a lot of them around because those are group things that you can do together that are going to really help you get on your toes, help you not be afraid to use your instrument in front of other people, even if it's just a group of people without an audience. So improv classes, I highly recommend. Um, and because you can't just say I want to act and get a headshot and expect to do it. Acting is something. It's an art. It's just like dancing. It's just like playing an instrument. It's just like singing. It's something, it's a performance. So you have to practice. You have to study it. The book, and God, it's so old school. Uta Hagen, A Respect for Acting, is the book that I came up on, and Stanislavski. But I don't know if younger people will kind of get into those, but those are the ones that I came up on. But just go read whatever you can. Find an acting books that speak to you. And whatever classes you can get into. And then but like I say, try to go to classes where you don't have to pay for the whole things all at once. Go take a class. And if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. Get out of it. Um, Look at the teachers and what they've done or where they've studied. I'd recommend that too. Um, practice auditioning. Get your phone out, get some scripts out, practice. Don't practice big monologues. They're usually not going to give you those. They're going to give you a few lines. Practice doing those. Get with your friends and practice. Find other actors who want to do it. Practice doing scenes back and forth with each other. You'll find acting exercises online. Do those. You can find everything online. Watch YouTube videos, TikToks.
There's lots of resources.
Exactly. If you want to be it, be it. But don't just say you're it. Delve into it.
Absolutely. Now, are there tricks also that you utilize for your mental wellness? Because, we have talked about how in acting, there is a lot of rejection. And, just ensuring that you have the mental capacity or reassurance of understanding that, hey, it just wasn't this role. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be a role in the future, or, they were looking for something super specific, but not really, dwelling when you don't get the role.
It's really hard not to do that because how do you not take it personal when you're putting your whole person out there and then they're saying, no, we don't want you. But it's not that they don't want you. It's that they need something else. Um, I've had to, and I am such a hypersensitive person and I'm so insecure. It's a wonder I do this. But I've learned to just go, oh, and usually especially now that when I see who they chose, I go, oh, well, no wonder I didn't get it. They were looking for something totally different. Um, so don't take that personally at all. And usually we get the sides. We get this much of the script. We don't see the whole picture. that everybody else does, you know? And it also, here's the other thing. This is a big one I've learned. We don't know who we're acting against. A lot of times it just comes down to, I'm too damn tall to be acting against the lead who's too damn short, because that's what that's a lot of it. That just, or my hair is the same color as the lead lady, and they can't, and for 5 lines they know I'm not going to change my hair color. You know what I mean? So they want to put a blonde in it. It's just down to it.
Yeah, the things that are beyond your control.
Exactly. Or, my face reminds the casting guy in LA of his ex-wife. That's it. That's it. I'm gone. Even before they looked at 3 minutes of my tape. Nope, don't like her. She reminds me of my ex-wife, and I'm out. It can come down to as simple as that. It's so fickle, but then it can come down to, oh my God, I've been looking for that face.
Yeah.
I've gotten things that I thought there is no way I'm going to get this, and I got it.
Yeah.
So go into everything like, I'm going to get it. And when you don't, you go, well, that there was a reason. And the reason wasn't because I wasn't talented. The reason was, I'm too tall, I'm too short, my hair's the wrong color. They were looking for something totally different.
Yeah.
And move on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that was a conversation that we had with some of the casting directors too, they left us saying, hey, we're advocates for you. We want you to get these roles. It's not that
That
we're
makes their
rooting
job
against
easier.
you. Exactly. It's just that, and sometimes they said too, roles get cut.
That's right. You could have been pinned on that wall. Oh my God, we have this role and Melissa's going to get it. And then the next call she gets, oh, we've cut that role.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know all of this all happened. You got a role. They cut the role, and you didn't get the role. All you got was you didn't get the role, but you didn't hear. You got the role. The role was cut. All you heard was you didn't get the role.
Yeah. So just being flexible in
Exactly.
understanding that process.
I have to learn to also have kind of a spiritual thing here to it. I have to say every day, everything that is meant for me will come to me. And that's it. And just have a knowing that it will.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I turned 60 years old. I didn't get my first inkling of success until I was like 52, 53 in there. And that wasn't even big success. That was, I got 5 lines on a movie. You know what I mean? Now I'm getting some real success, but it's taken this long. But I always kind of knew too. You also have to look at yourself and be very honest. When I was 20 years old, and even before the car accident, I looked at myself and went, you're a character actor. You're a character actor. Your success may not come until you're older. Because when you're 20, they're not going to hire you to play 40-year-olds like they did in college on the stage. You're going to have to wait till you're 40 to play 40-year-olds. So just wait, because your time will come when your time is supposed to come.
Yeah, no, I love that because everybody likes to put timelines on where they're supposed to be at a certain time, and that's just not how life works.
And so being a character actor, I went out and got some character. I went out and lived a life. I had a career in radio. I had a career in real estate. I was a bartender forever. I had heartache. I had happiness. I have all of that I now have in this bag of tricks that I can reach into when a director goes, hey, can you feel that? Oh yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. So are there any exciting upcoming projects that you're working on right now?
Opus coming out is the big one, and then I've got I did a part on Dark Winds that was a lot of fun. I really liked working on Dark Winds, and I'm hoping that that part can come back. And if not this season, but the season 4.
And in your perspective, how has the film industry impacts really New Mexico's economy and our local communities?
Well, I mean, here's me. I live here. I choose to live here because I can make a living here as an actor. Otherwise, I'd be in LA. My sister's in LA. I could be in LA. But I like making my living here as an actor here. I've also on sets, I'm on sets all the time, and I hear the buzz with the crews. A lot of them are from LA. A lot of them are from Louisiana. A lot of them have moved here from Atlanta. They have come from elsewhere and are making their home here. They're buying homes here. They're staying here because once they get here, they're like, oh, the ease of life here, the cost of living here is great. They look at what they can buy a home here for compared to LA, compared to Atlanta. They look at, I also look at then when I look at um, the people who have come in to work here and aren't staying here and are staying in the hotels and the Airbnbs and can't or and then going out to eat every night and every morning because and buying coffee everywhere like coffee in the trunk here, and then also talking about coming back to visit as a tourist. It's just, I think it opens up the state for so many. I can't even, we could have a whole nother talk about how it impacts the economy, because I think we could look at every aspect of the economy and go, oh, here's how the film industry touches it.
Absolutely. Yep. 100%. And to that note too, New Mexico was ranked, three of our cities were ranked best places to live and work as a movie
Yeah.
maker. That's a testament to our quality of life.
Yep.
Plus we have, mental health wise, the outdoor recreation opportunities that we have out here. Quality of life is very, very important. And so not only are we providing great filming opportunities, but we are a great place to live and build a life.
I agree. I agree. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, with things being difficult to live in New York and live in LA and understanding that we've established ourselves as a hub.
We have the crews, we have the actors, we have trained background actors. We have also, what we also have is the the people, not just the crews, just the residences who are so used to it. Oh, there's a movie going on down there, and they don't complain about it. They're excited about it.
Well, and you know what? Again, because we've established ourselves and our vendors, the local businesses that utilize the services to the film industry, there's so many and such a plethora, and they know how to work with the film industry. They know
Yes.
what to do. They know how fast paced this industry can be and what is expected of them. So we've established ourselves to where we have everything that the film industry needs, and I think that's what's put us in a really great position on top of, having one of the most competitive tax credits. It is just, having these conversations because domestically people are for some reason going overseas to film their projects, and we're actively going like,
You
nope,
can't
we're,
tell me
we're here.
that's less expensive. You can't tell me that when they can just bop over to New Mexico. We've got southern New Mexico. Las Cruces is now geared up and prepared. I just got a notice they're shooting something down there right now. Yeah.
Melissa, I could talk about this with you forever.
Well, I'll come back anytime you'll have me.
I appreciate it. So, folks who want to get to know you better, want to see upcoming projects that you're working on, get to know more about you, how would folks get in touch with you or learn more?
Well, you can find me on Facebook at Melissa Chambers Actor or Melissa Chambers, but Melissa Chambers Actor, you can follow me. And that's the same on Instagram and Twitter, Melissa Chambers 1111. Or no, Twitter, not Twitter, TikTok. TikTok. Also, the other one I wanted to mention was Sunlight. I had a wonderful, I don't know if you all remember when Sunlight, the thing that Keegan Carnes was the producer on that. It was fantastic. That was a really good one. I got totally naked on that. Totally butt naked, fighting with my son. Yeah. Why do you think I mentioned it?
To get an uptick in views for that one now.
Oh, it's fabulous talking with you. Invite me on
Oh, such a pleasure.
anytime.
Oh, we would love to have you next time. We've got another, big release. We're super excited for Opus, super excited to see your
Okay.
part and everything that you do in there.
Okay. And it's going to be exciting, you guys. It's really a cool movie. I can't wait for everybody to see it.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.